I first met Bernie, Dr. Bernie, while playing tennis many, many years ago. And I was complaining to a friend at the tennis courts that I was having trouble with my dentist and my tooth was sore. And they said, well, why don't you go talk to Bernie? He's right there. And I didn't even know that Bernie was a dentist. And then, so I discussed my problem with him right there on the court. And I came by his office, which happens to be very close to where I live. And at the time, I learned that he was an accredited cosmetic dentist, which is a unique profession. There's only about 300, and he's one of the top ones. I learned a little bit about what else he did. I saw his beautiful office with all these books laying around, and I started opening them up, and I was like, I know this person, and it was Dr. Bernie, and that was doing the work. And so yeah, I was excited, and what was very, very nice is that his staff just made me feel so welcomed and with open arms. Really, they were formal but friendly. I would say that. I wasn't getting a neck massage, but the next best thing. They were very concerned about me being happy. The working relationship between the staff and Dr. Bernie, because he goes from patient to patient, was just amazing. The fluidity of it and the professionalism could not be any better. The best part, I thought, about my experience with Dr. Bernie was his attention to detail. I've been an artist my entire life, photographer. My attention to detail is very acute. I wouldn't say that I can't live with a little here and there, but I'm always open to any ideas. But after discussing every little detail with Dr. Bernie, he is an amazing artist. He really gave me the smile that I wanted. I think that is the smile I deserve in life. It was a seamless process. And all the way down to where I had the temporaries in. When he took off my old bridge, and we weren't sure what was going to be under there because it was like 25 years old. And they were actually amazed that it was in such good shape. That I was about as nervous as you could possibly be. And but when he actually made the temporaries that day in his office, even the temporary looked completely natural. Normally you'd suffer through maybe a month or two of having some yellowed out, big, thick looking plastic thing. Not anymore. I had really no problems with it becoming infected because it has to have a tight fit, I understand, to not let oxygen in there to create infection. And but even during that time, I probably came in a couple times, and he would detail it from that the temporaries to where I was actually working towards the smile I have today. And that went on, and he really came up with perfect teeth for me, I felt. When my impressions were sent off to the ceramist, I remember that he mentioned that the first set that he had gone to, he was down in Newport Beach at the time, that he wanted to make another set. So, to really get it perfect in his mind, because he really listened to what I wanted, and to do everything he possibly could to give me what what I was after as an artist in my smile, and creating the smile that I wanted was achieved. Right. I think that from my experience with Bernie, all of his equipment is state of the art. He literally has every tool to do the best work possible. His ceramist was an expert, in my opinion. Like the rest of his staff, he seems to only deal with top of the line everything. I didn't see one shortcut, in my opinion. And I was in and out of here for a couple months regularly. I've had probably 3 crowns, 2 root canals done by Dr. Burney. Again, he is so articulate, and it's almost like little fairies with his hands. He's very sure of himself, but not clumsy in the least. I don't know how he does it, at the angles he works at. But he's always got a nice smile. When he leaves the room, somebody else is always in there with me, and I never really want for anything. I remember when I was having my root canal done, I remember watching a movie, literally on a headset. That I learned that he actually had a machine that would make my tooth in his office called a CEREC machine. And so while I was actually waiting for my crown to be made, I was just really Novocaine once and waited, and the tooth came out perfect. That's after he had taken x-rays of it, and another machine that actually showed what the tooth was. It x-rayed my old tooth and made kind of a copy of it. It took a piece of enamel, or porcelain, and a little teeny square of porcelain, matched that to my existing tooth, put it in the machine, and it maybe took about 15 minutes. You could look through a little window with a fluorescent light right there by where I was sitting, and I saw my tooth made. He trimmed off the edges just like a little bit, the sharp edges, and he put the tooth on there, and it fit perfect. I don't think he had to adjust a thing, and I haven't had a problem with it. The ceramist, I feel, is top of the line. Especially when I found out that when they pour the ceramic mixture, that it's actually shaded, darker at the top to light at the bottom. That was achieved perfectly. It didn't extend too far into the tooth, just at the very gum line. So it created such a natural appearance to the 6 teeth. The 2 the 2 veneers, and the 4 teeth in the middle. One of them, again, there's not a tooth there. When the teeth were put on, there was very little adjustment. He did trim a little here and there to detail, which was nerve-wracking for me, because I understand that there's no going back on that particular session. But again, his communication with me, his ceramist, who is unbelievably good in my opinion, the final product could not be changed to anything better. I was completely happy.